Hello, my name is Matthew Saxton. I'm a doctoral student in Liberty University's Ph.D. program in history. My research focuses on Revolutionary-era communities in Western Massachusetts and the complex decisions individuals faced during the American Revolution. This project examined what I call the Hancock Defection of 1777, in which a group of men from Hancock, Massachusetts left their community during the militia mobilization that preceded the Battle of Bennington. The goal of this study was to reconsider how that event should be interpreted within the broader context of Revolutionary-era Loyalist and allegiance studies. A bit about the historical context. The episode took place during General John Burgoyne's 1777 invasion from Canada. As his army moved south towards Albany, frontier communities across western Massachusetts were mobilized to supply militia forces for regional defense. This created intense pressure on towns like Hancock, which had just been officially incorporated in 1776 to meet militia quotas. At the same time, uncertainty about the British advance created fear and instability across the frontier. It was in this atmosphere of wartime mobilization and uncertainty that a group of Hancock men secretly left the town and attempted to move towards British lines. This episode raises an important historical question. Why would men abandon their homes, their families, and their communities during a military crisis and travel toward the enemy? Traditional interpretations have generally treated the Hancock men simply as loyalists who defected to the British. However, that explanation assumes ideological commitment without closely examining the local circumstances surrounding the event. This study asks whether the departure might instead reflect the pressures created by wartime mobilization within a frontier community. My argument is that the departure of the Hancock men should not be understood primarily as ideological loyalism. Instead, the evidence suggests that their actions were shaped by militia mobilization, local enforcement of military obligations, and the instability created by Burgoyne's campaign. In this context, their actions reflect what can be described as conditional allegiance, where individuals responded to immediate wartime pressures rather than acting from fixed ideological commitments. To evaluate this interpretation, the study relies heavily on primary source evidence, particularly the grand jury notes and trial materials produced by Massachusetts Attorney General Robert Treat Paine. Additional evidence comes from official Massachusetts court records, militia mobilization documents, and contemporary correspondence. Together, these sources allow the events surrounding the Hancock departure to be reconstructed and analyzed within the broader military and social environment of the Berkshire frontier. When examined together, the sources suggest that the Hancock men were responding to a combination of pressures within their community. Militia officers were enforcing draft requirements, and failure to comply could result in fines or imprisonment. At the same time, the movement of British forces created uncertainty about the outcome of the campaign. Under these conditions, the decision to leave Hancock may have represented an attempt to navigate the dangers of wartime coercion rather than a clear ideological alignment with the British cause. This case highlights a broader point about the American Revolution. Many ordinary people navigated the conflict based on immediate circumstances rather than a broader ideological commitment. By examining a single community in detail, this study highlights how frontier populations experienced the revolution, how wartime pressures could shape political choices, and may provide a model for future studies of loyalty and allegiance during the American Revolution. I want to thank you for watching Conditional Allegiance on the Berkshire Frontier, the Hancock Defection of 1777 Reconsidered. For more historical content, check out @PatriotHistorian on YouTube.